You too.
Time now is 8:50. We have a pop pioneer on the sofa this morning, Howard Jones, whose trademark move was playing two synthesizers at the same time, celebrating 40 years since hitting the big time with his debut single, New Song.
It was the start of an extraordinary run of 10 hit singles over just 3 years. Let's have a quick listen. And Howard joins us now. Good morning.
Good morning.
Have the years flown?
Yes, they have. I can't believe it's 40 years since the release of New Song. I mean, it's just flown by. So many things have happened. Great.
We should say happy birthday to you, shouldn't we? Because you had a birthday yesterday.
Yes, I did. And I was driving up here to Manchester in the car with my wife Jan, and we were cranked up the sound system and was listening to banging tunes.
Out of curiosity, what were you listening to?
Well, actually, there's this thing I did about at the in the early 90s, which was a tour, and we were just kind of experimenting with electronic music, and I recorded it all live and then edited it together as one thing. It's called Peaceful Tour Live, and it's our favourite record of mine.
So you're listening to your own stuff?
Yeah, and it was I've got to say, it was Jan's saying, I really want to listen to this. So Jan said it, wasn't me.
Yeah,
that'd be a bit weird. That's so nice that your wife is saying on your birthday, let's crank up your music from 30 years ago.
Yeah, because I hadn't listened to it for like ages, so it was great to hear it again.
Does it seem odd? You know, we were playing some of the old stuff there, and I know you're working still, and we'll talk about the new material later. Yeah. But what's it like watching that back?
You know, now I'm really comfortable with it because it's like my history, and I'm sort of proud of those days, and that we were doing something different, and the looks and the clothes, and you know, just the way the music was made.
Look at you there.
Yeah, I know.
So you say you're comfortable watching it now. Was there a period where it was a little bit cringy?
Right. That's right. Where it feels, it's too close. But now I can watch it. It's like almost like a different person, a younger version of myself.
And people will have noticed, and you probably had to go through this a million times, just explaining the character who was dancing on stage with you, which sort of became a kind of almost iconic kind of character. Just explain to us what that was.
Well, Jed, you know, was a big part of the early show because I was doing the one-man show, and Jed was the character that was kind of, you know, expressing what the songs were about visually, and it was like a sort of performance art thing. And I think when we first, you know, did that Top of the Pops show, and it just blew people away because it was something so different. But that's what we were doing, out in the clubs and the pubs, the Marquee Club and all that, you know.
It's like a forerunner to Bez from the Happy Monday.
Yeah, people have said that.
They were kind of funny times around then, weren't they? Lots of different kinds of music knocking around. I'm always fascinated by backstage at Top of the Pops when there were other bands, and whether you got on with everyone, and you know how the rivalries were.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I was just grateful to be there at all. You know what I mean? I wasn't bothered about competing with anybody. I was like so pleased that I got signed, and I was able to do. I mean, I didn't feel any, you know, that kind of rivalry. I was just pleased to meet all the people I was seeing on Top of the Pops. You know, Duran and you know, George Michael, and actually just getting to meet those people. So, but everything was so hectic for everyone. There was very little time to do that, to hang out anyway.
It seems hectic because I'm just thinking about pop stars now and their release of singles and albums. It's a bit more protracted. Was you 10 top 40 singles in the space of 3 years? That is full on.
Yeah, it was pretty fun. I don't think every single day, including Christmas Day, we were working and doing something. But I tell you, I wasn't complaining because I was so pleased to be doing it.
Did you have a career before music? Did you?
No, I was just a one-trick pony. Me, I just like I always wanted to do music, and I worked in a factory just to earn money. I taught piano lessons. I did anything to earn money just to.
So there are people out there who were taught how to play the piano.
Yeah.
By Howard Jones.
I mean, I have to admit, I did fall asleep a few times during those lessons.
During your own lessons?
Yeah, because I was working in the factory during the day, doing about 3 jobs, and I just like nod off because they hadn't done their practice. Anyway, sorry about that.
Got to practice.
I'm sure
they've
forgiven you. But so much of success is that commitment, isn't it? That graft that you put in, and you're still putting in. You're going on tour this autumn.
Yeah. Well, I think I've always felt that if you're going to be an artist, you have to keep working at it every day. Play, sing, do all the stuff, and I love what I do, and what I want to do is to give people a boost with the music because we're living through really difficult times, and music can really lift people's spirits. And that's what I've always wanted to do right from the beginning, even with new songs.
I think we can hear some of the new material right now, so look.
Of all the people in the world, why would you choose me? To be like binary stars, locked in our own gravity. You say these words, but they're lost on me.
Do you know who you sound a bit like on that?
Uh-oh.
This is a good thing. Like Morrissey, I'm a big fan. And I was listening to your music last night because I was born in 1980 and I was very young when you had that quick succession of singles. But then I was thinking about the 90s and New Order and Joy Division and you can hear you in that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I was just very excited to just be working with electronic music and synths, and lots of people have told me that did have an influence on them, with their work, which is great. But I was just following my nose and my heart with I wanted to make music that maybe had not been heard before, sounds that hadn't been heard before, ways of doing things that weren't rock and roll, and something different. So
who would be an unlikely person that we might have heard of who said that Howard Jones inspired them?
Well, there's a guy. I don't know if you know this gentleman. He's an American electronic artist called BT, and he's like one of my favourite contemporary artists. And he told me that, and that was like. And we've since been collaborating. In fact, we collaborated on that track. We just saw,
What's that like when it's an artist you admire, saying you're part of my history?
Yeah, well, it's really great. I think there's a great sort of synergy between, a great bond, and the music that we've collaborated on has been really quite powerful. Yeah.
Good luck with the tour. Lovely to see you this morning. Happy birthday for yesterday.
Thank you so much, Tom.
Birthday.
Tickets for Howard's tour on sale from today.
You're watching BBC Breakfast. It's 8:59.